Good morning. It's Monday, October 6th, 2008. This is WFTL Bytes, your occasiodaily FOSS/Linux news show, as brought to you by me, your host, Marcel Gagné, aka WFTL, WFTL. Oh, press hat. I must put on my press hat. There we go. Actually, I don't think nobody believed I actually had one of these. See, I actually do have one of these. Anyway, my press hat, so I'm ready to go. You know, at the top of the news, just because Google seems to show up in these stories all the time, I'm just going to leave them until a little bit later on. However, as you probably know, the $700 billion bailout package was approved and passed and signed into law and so forth. But apparently that didn't help because Asian and European markets today went. And so the news actually is, kind of crappy. So let me see if I can give you, some good news along with the bad news today. But let's start with some of the bad news. As you may be aware, Kevin Carmody, the former president and CEO of Linspire, who replaced Michael Robertson, the former president, CEO, and founder of Linspire, which was Lindos at the beginning, has been following the man for a long time after the company was sold to Xandros, saying that, the deal was a backroom deal, funds may have been misappropriated, allegedly, and all that kind of stuff like that there. And he's been saying for a long time to Michael Robertson, show us what happened. What happened to the money? Where's all the money? Where are all the shares? There was value in the company, and it's gone. None of the shareholders got anything. And of course the board of directors were all fired just before the company was sold, etc. Anyway, Michael Robertson is being sued. Yes, a lawsuit has been brought against him, a derivative suit, to ask exactly what happened, where the money went, and so forth. And that's by an individual on behalf of the corporation to find out what allegedly happened inside the company. So anyways, that's the dirt on today's broadcast. The second piece of news, which is going to be kind of the bad news-ish sort of thing, is that MSI Wind, who produces a nice-looking little white netbook, one of these little mini notebooks that comes usually preloaded with Linux or some version of that other operating system. Windows, that's it, claims that they've got a 4-time higher return rate on Linux netbooks than they do on Windows netbooks because the people who buy it take it home and go, I've never seen this before, I don't know what it is, and they take it back and go, I think there's something strange on my netbook, and apparently nobody bothers to explain that it's Linux, and it's cool, and it's great, and they should be running it, but they don't. Anyway, he doesn't actually explain what 4 times higher is, as somebody in one of the blog comments says. What, are you talking like 1% to 4%? Are you talking 0.1% to 0.4%? What exactly are these return rates? Is it even really significant? So that's an interesting question. Speaking of Microsoft, in Norway, as you may recall, earlier this year, their OOXML standard was passed, and in Norway in particular, it was particularly bad because of the 23 members that were there, 21 voted against Microsoft, and one other body decided to vote for, and somehow it was passed. It was agreed upon. It's like, 21 votes to 23 against sounds like overwhelming support for Microsoft's OOXML, so let's fire that back to the ISO. Well, anyway, today, 13 of the 23 members, or actually a whole bunch of other members, quit, which means more than half of the Norwegian ISO board members have quit over this. So yay, Norway! You've got integrity. I applaud you. And, hey, what the heck, I'll throw in Google at this point. Google is finally creating Linux repositories for some of its software. They've got apt, they've got yum, they've got RPM, they've got yast, they've got all sorts of stuff, including instructions on how to install all that stuff. Hey, it looks pretty good. The only trouble is at this moment, the only thing they've got is, wait for it, Picasa and Google Earth. That's it. That's the only thing in the repos. But Google says more will happen soon, which means we'll get more Google on this newscast, indeed. And finally, a good news story to wrap up today. Linux turns 17 today. Well, sort of turned 17. The actual first post by Linus Torvalds was actually August 25th, 1991. August 25th, 1991, a date I remember well because it is my wedding anniversary. Anyway, on that date, he sent out that little post saying, I'm working on a new operating system. What makes today different is that today was the day when the first version of the Linux kernel was released. So, happy birthday, Linux! And I think that's it. I think I'm done. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. No, bye.